Hi, this is Mr. Kostenbader. Welcome to my course on drawing. What is drawing? Drawing is the act of making a mark on a surface. It's as simple as that. And what I'm going to teach you today is how to simplify these actions so that you become more fluid at drawing. The first thing I'd like you to do is learn each day to warm up before we do our warm-up drawing exercises. So we're going to be using most of our upper bodies to be drawing, and that's one of my first lessons that I teach you. So you need to learn to loosen up your body. That might be doing head rolls for a few seconds. It might mean that you need to do shoulder hunches or scrunches. All right, it might mean shaking your arms and your hands and your shoulders, because these are all the things that we're going to be using as we're drawing our warm-up lessons. Before we begin starting to draw with a pencil or a marker, I'm going to give you another tip on how to hold it. Okay, these are all techniques I've learned over the 29 years that I've been teaching. All right, typically we hold a pencil like this. All right, if you've ever had a long essay that you had to write, or a lot of math problems, 2 or 3 hours of homework, you know how this feels. It doesn't feel very good. Okay, it pulls all the muscles in your arm and your hand, and you're really only using this small amount of surface in your arm. So instead of holding the pencil or pen like this, I'd like you to try holding it like this. Okay, this is very similar to when you were a little kid and you held your pencil or crayon like this. If you notice, this allows you much more movement of your arm and your body. You can probably even see my head moving as I'm doing this, all right? This is a good thing. This is important that you have a full range of motion while you're drawing. So I'll show you that again, all right? You just lay your pencil down on your paper and you pick it up by the tip like this, and I'm going to slightly angle it so that it's touching. If this is my paper, this is how I'm going to be drawing. Now this may seem uncomfortable the first few times you do it, but you get much more comfortable at drawing this way, and it will allow you a much larger range of motion. Okay? Notice if I'm right-handed, it's pointing towards my left hand, the tip of the pencil or pen. If I'm left-handed, the tip of the marker or pencil is going to point towards my right. Okay, and one last little tip is I'm actually touching, if this is my paper, I'm actually touching the paper with my fingertips. This will help anchor your pencil to the paper, okay? And also, this is kind of a note, you don't want to do this. Painters do this, but for now we're drawing, we're actually touching our fingertips to the paper. Okay, if you're wondering why I'm showing you a marker as an example, is because it shows up much better on camera. I would encourage you to use a pencil for this exercise. All right, so already, let's get to drawing. Okay, so you have your pencil in hand. I'd like you to try to grip it by the tip like this. Okay, so that's slightly angled. All right, and we're ready to do and make the most fundamental marks that we can on paper, other than scribbling, of course, and that's line. I'm going to show you how to make straight lines today. All right, I'd like you to, if you want to watch me do one or two, and then follow along, try to keep up with the same speed, and we'll do these together. All right, so here we go. I'm warmed up, right? I'm going to start at the top of my paper, okay, and I'm going to pull a line. All right, see how easy that is? Pull a line. I'm going to try to make these equidistant. Okay, try one with me. Pull a line. Pull a line. Notice my entire arm and shoulder is moving during the process. Okay? Next, I'm going to try to put one in between. Now, because you're new at this, don't get frustrated. You will end up with lines that crisscross or hook at the end. All right, that's very common. But just do your best to line up your line. Keep your eyes kind of on the whole page. I'm not really focused at just my marker right now. Okay, I'm kind of looking at the whole page. And I'm also following through. I'm going to exaggerate that a little bit. See how I did that? Okay. Also, try to develop a rhythm, and we'll get more into that. But you can see it takes like 1, 2, 3, about 3 seconds to make my lines. Okay, I'm just pulling, top to bottom, pull. Notice my fingers are touching the paper. Okay. If you are really unsure and this is a little overwhelming, you can also do practice strokes, just like in sports, okay, like golfing or pool, okay? You could also do this, where I'm not even touching the paper yet. You're just getting the hang of the movement, and then you pull. Okay, so that's vertical lines. Okay, we practiced some vertical lines. Next, we're going to practice some horizontal lines right on top of this paper. By the way, you can use any scrap paper for these practice pieces that we're doing. Remember to use your arm, as you're drawing this. I would encourage you to draw from left to right if you're a righty, and right to left if you're a lefty, okay? So it would look something like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so get a rhythm going. Try to give them somewhat equidistant. Try to follow through. If you don't follow through, you'll see this. Okay, or if you go too quickly, you might see that. Okay, so just get a rhythm, get just the right speed going, and follow through. Okay, so there's my horizontal lines. While we're doing our warm-ups, okay, online, we did our vertical, horizontal, okay. The next one we're going to do, I call connect the dots. So draw 6 or 7 dots all over your paper, and I'd like you to connect each dot to the other dots. All right, and this helps with your eye-hand coordination. So I usually do a couple practice strokes first, and I do my best to get it so I'm drawing right through those dots. And I missed that one a little bit. Okay. Another thing I should mention is you can certainly draw over your lines. I really encourage you not to erase. Erasing is a very negative sort of behavior as you're drawing. So you want to avoid erasing, okay? And it usually ends up taking you twice as much time to draw when you're doing that. Going a little quick here. I think I need to slow down. That's it. Notice I'm using my whole shoulder and arm. Okay, good. So there's your connect the dots. The last part of this warm-up that I'd like you to do is very simple. It's called circles, all right? And what we do is cover the page with different size circles. To do that, just like I mentioned earlier, like a sport like golf or pool or baseball, when you're ready to hit a baseball, you don't just run right up to the ball and smack it. You're going to do a practice run, okay? So if I want to make a circle here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get real close to the paper. And if I do this long enough, I can almost see a circle appearing. Now I'm standing off to the side of my paper, so it's a little challenging to draw a perfect circle because of my perspective here. I'm just going to get closer and closer to the paper with my pen, my marker. Okay, and there's my circle. And you can just do these all over your paper. Small ones, big ones, tangent ones. These are very good practice. Try to make tangent ones that touch. Okay, and there's your warm-up. Hope you had fun doing it. I know it doesn't look like fun, but you're going to be amazed at how much better you're going to become at drawing just by doing these simple exercises. So happy drawing.